And joining me in the studio is Federation Chairman David Dick and Chef Shenoa French. Thank you so much for both coming to the show.
Glad to be here.
Shenoa, I hope this isn't what you call too many cooks in the kitchen here today.
You will be fine.
Well, before we get started on our great recipe, David, I want to talk to you just a moment. Tell us a little bit about the Federation itself.
Well, the Federation is the state 50 cents of the dollar. The state's collected 50 cents goes to the Cattlemen's Beef Board, and 50 cents stays at home in the states. There are 45 qualified state beef councils, and that's what makes up the Federation.
Very good. And how does the Federation get involved in projects emanating from the Culinary Innovation Center?
Well, there are a lot of things that 50 cents can do, and through the Federation we do a lot of recipe research, which is part of new product development, and we get things that Shenoa brings to us that are easy to do at home and tasty just the same.
Absolutely, and it looks like she's already started. Shenoa, tell us what we're cooking today.
Well, today we're going to do a different take on your traditional pot roast.
Okay.
So this is called the Southwest Beef Pot Roast, and what I have is usually a 3 to 4 pound bottom round.
All right.
So this is one of our lean cuts that we've used, and I've started rubbing a little bit of cumin. You can use fresh ground cumin, or you can buy it at the grocery store, and just about 2 teaspoons, rub it all over the roast, so it gives you some nice flavor.
Sure.
Over here you have a nice big stock pot. I've added a little bit of oil, and you heat it up. And what we're going to do is, the importance of that heated oil is we're going to get a nice sear, which will help impart the flavor when we do some braising, which is what this recipe requires. So,
and you would even do this in a crock pot kind of a
you
situation.
could do this recipe in a crock pot, but we would recommend that you sear and you brown first and then go ahead and throw it in the crock pot. Crock pot is if you're going to want to start in the morning and let it run all day. In here you can do it in about 2.5 to 3 hours on the stove top. So a little bit of oil. As you see, I've rubbed a little cumin on there. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the same top, and season it as you wish. They call for about a half a teaspoon. I'm going to start, this had a little bit of fat cap, so I'm going to start with that down, just to kind of render some of that off. So you get a nice sear on there, medium heat. Add just a list of those little sprinkles on here. And what this does is you just kind of let it brown on all sides. So hot pan, you'll hear a little the sizzle. Let it wait until it releases, and then you'll go ahead and flip it and move it around all sides.
Very good.
So I'm going to let this go. This recipe is a really quick and easy
That's
recipe.
good, quick and easy. We
so
like
we
that.
thought that anybody could do this at home.
Well, that's what our consumer research tells us too, that it has to be quick and easy.
Yeah, this one's not under the 30 minutes, but it's less than 30 minutes prep time for sure.
Right.
So this is 2 cups of salsa. Pick your favorite kind. Right now they're doing a lot with chipotle salsa or a green salsa verde, whatever you like. And then it'll be 2 cups. As soon as we get this all browned, I'm going to go ahead and flip this to the other side. You'll add the salsa in there and go ahead and put a lid on it. So, and your salsa will come to a little bit of a boil, which is what you want, and that's simmering. And then we're going to add a lid to it. Turn the heat down to like medium at the highest. You want to make sure that when you put your lid on there and you're going to cook it for about 2.5 hours, that you don't run out of water, because that's the braising process. If you need to add a little bit of water back in, you can do that, but you'll put a lid on tight, and then you let it simmer until it's fork tender. And that's the term that we use for end doneness with any braised product. A lot of times when we're cooking steaks, we talk about medium rare is 145 or that, and we don't have a degree of doneness for braising. It's just fork tender.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and
it's
flatten
looking
this guy
good.
out.
Yeah.
So get a little bit of flavor.
And you said probably about 3 hours or thereabouts.
2.5 to 3 hours, kind of depending on altitude and the heat. You'll add this in there. You'll see that you get some good sizzling. So you'll bring the salsa up to a little bit of a boil.
It's a little different than the old carrots and potatoes in a pot roast, isn't it, David?
Onions too. Onions too.
So spin that around. It's boiling. You just put the lid on, and I'd turn it down, like I said, to that low medium heat, and you let it cook. Once it's fork tender, you're going to pull your meat out, and then go ahead and add
some black beans.
A can of black beans.
That's good.
Go ahead and drain them and rinse them, and then a cup and a half of corn. And this can be frozen corn. If you want to use canned corn, just make sure you drain it and rinse it. This just gets added at the end, and it gets all mixed together till it's hot. And then you pull it out and go ahead and slice it up.
Look at this.
And then this
David,
can be
now that looks good.
That does look good.
We've served it over here. This side has a little bit of brown rice. On the right over there is a little white rice, so you can kind of depend whatever the family wants, and some corn chips.
Well, David, I don't know if that's Southwest Missouri, but it's certainly a Southwest recipe, and it looks delicious. Now, you can get details on this recipe and other great beef dishes on our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.